The official story is that Israel, of course, had no idea that the October 7th attacks were coming. They were caught totally off guard by this. Yes, the most sophisticated organization in the world, the intelligence organization in the world, simply didn't know anything at all. Nothing. Nothing at all. That's what we're told, right? That's what they stand behind. That's what we're told. And yet, now we know that investors knew that the October 7th attack was coming. They made huge trades, and they made millions of dollars off of those trades, millions of dollars short-selling Israeli companies, almost as if they knew that those companies were going to collapse or have huge downswings. So they would make a lot of money on those downswings. And they made these trades right before the attack. Very convenient. This is not me saying this, by the way. This is research conducted by Columbia School of Law in New York and New York University. Researchers from both of those universities came together to collaborate on this. They analyzed incredible amounts of stock data before and after the October 7th Hamas attack, and they noticed some very odd behavior. So here is the name of this research abstract, Trading on Terror, by Robert Jackson Jr. and Joshua Mitz. And I'll just read some of the abstract here, and I'll quote from it. The short selling that day far exceeded the short selling that occurred during numerous periods of crisis, including the recession following the financial crisis, the 2014 Israel-Gaza war, the COVID-19 pandemic. Similarly, we identify increases in short selling before the attack in dozens of Israeli companies traded in Tel Aviv. In other words, some traders knew about the Hamas plan to attack Israel on October 7th and used that knowledge to make millions of dollars by short selling Israeli companies. That's their finding. Those company stocks plummeted in value, and they made millions off of that knowledge. But interestingly, it didn't happen on U.S. stock exchanges. No, it happened on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. Here's more. Although we see no aggregate increase in shorting of Israeli companies on U.S. exchanges, we do identify a sharp and unusual increase just before the attacks in trading in risky short-dated options in these companies expiring just after the attacks. We identify similar patterns in the Israeli ETF at times, when it was reported that Hamas was planning to execute a similar attack back in October. Our findings suggest that traders informed about the coming attacks profited from these tragic events. And consistent with prior literature, we show that trading of this kind occurs in gaps in U.S. and international enforcement of legal prohibitions on informed trading. So they knew they were coming, and they operated within the cracks of that informed trading. Very sophisticated. Days before the attacks, traders appeared to anticipate the events to come, they wrote. They also wrote, citing short interest in the Israeli Stock Exchange, the exchange-traded fund, that suddenly and significantly spiked on October 2nd, based on data from the Financial Industries Regulatory Authority, FINRA. The ETF is commonly used as a way for people to make investments in Israel, which on any given day has about 2,000 shares that are shorted. On any given day, it's about 2,000. However, on October 2nd, that number shot up to 227,000 shares in this, as according to this study revealed. The study found that just before the attack, short selling of Israeli securities on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange increased dramatically. That's not a coincidence. Bottom line here is some folks made a lot of money and had foreknowledge of this. I mean, are we still operating under the idea that these guys had no idea that October 7th was coming? I mean, I never for one second believed that that was the truth, but that's the official narrative.